The very first DLC for Evil Genius 2 is here. Is it any good? Well, let's find out. My gosh, the world of Evil Genius 2 is advancing so quickly. We're getting this DLC only a month after the game's release and days after they did an entire rebalance of all the game systems. I haven't even put out my video about my thoughts on the full game rebalance, but I want to get through this because I've made Henchmen kind of the centerpiece of my videos. I love reviewing all of them, so I had to jump right in here to review Espectro. I'm going to try and do something a little bit different with this video as opposed to my other Henchmen reviews. I'm going to try and play it more in real time without so much cutting out because they have improved the game speed a lot. So I'm going to try and show the entire side story and then we're going to get into the review. If you don't want to see the side story, check the timestamps and jump ahead to where I'm reviewing the character if that's all that you want to see is just gameplay with him.
You do not know it yet, but your evil-doing days are over.
You're right. I didn't get that memo.
I am Espectro, master of light and dark. And I am the super agent who will put an end to you once and for all.
Is that so? Because I know all the currently active super agents. I've never heard of you.
Well, my paperwork still needs to be processed. A mere formality. Once it is approved, you are done for.
So Electro looks like a Mysterio ripoff straight out of Spider-Man, and I can't wait to see what he's all about. Lure Espectro from the world stage. Here he is in Brazil. So this is a new thing as of the rebalance, is that when super agents are in a region, you don't have a designated quest to lure them. You actually click on them and then you say lure target right here, and they just come in for free. So it's a kind of minor change as of the rebalance, but I do really like it. Little is known of the man who's come to be known as Espectro. What is known for sure is that they grew up somewhere in Smash territory, and from an early age they developed a fascination with the heroes and super agents who once liberated the world. I mean, I could kind of tell that he grew up from Smash just from his accent, but I guess the rest of the minions weren't able to find out much.
Task complete.
Defeat Espectro. All right, just getting straight into it. Let's see, is he gonna... Yes, please say he's on the boat. Oh, here he is. Okay, 550 health. Is that the highest health in the game? And then 225 skill, 225 resolve. These stats don't really mean anything compared to what the henchmen stats will be once you recruit them. They just give them arbitrary stats if you're going to fight them. But this guy is looking like a one-man army. I wonder what his armor value is. We're going to have to speed things up and then see as we take him on.
The master of light.
Oh, Espectro, you have been tagged to be distracted by this funny little... This has to be the bravest spin doctor ever. I walk up to this guy and try and distract him. They're drawing straws in the back for who has to talk to the guy in the creepy bull helmet. No, Espectro, the entrance to my base is the other way, but I mean, I don't blame you. It looks like it's pretty hard to see outside of that helmet. So this looks like the only character who is to the same scale as Eli. Yeah, Eli is about as big as he is. For some reason, Eli like gets smaller when he does the conversation. I don't get it. Okay, things are about to come to a head here. I don't think that we're going to be able to distract him and bring him back into the lair. Okay, Eli. You exchanged words with this guy out in the casino. Now it's time to bring him down.
Silver lady wants to take.
Oh, man. Okay, so he has got no armor, just high health. Alright, now we need to interrogate the Smash agents in the lair. Watch. My guess is we're going to find out that Electro actually has no association to the Smash Department of Justice. He's just a vigilante. Yeah, he's still out here on the world stage. That's kind of cool. You could bring him back to fight him again if you wanted. Ah. Now, for some reason, I haven't picked up Blue Saint yet. Either it's my campaign progression or how many schemes I've run with the way that they've balanced things here in the patch. So I don't know if he would add on top of Blue Saint, but right now I'm just seeing him and no Blue Saint. Okay, here we go. Bring them in for questioning, my men. Bring them in for questioning. How'd the valet get this guy? I want to learn the valet story. My gosh. Tell me what you know of Electro. Do it now.
We have more intel.
Okay, now we have to lure him again. He's got to be hanging out here in Smash somewhere, right? There he is. Lure the target. They haven't updated that. Okay. Electro has arrived. Round 2, same stats. Okay, so it has not updated my quest. It said lure him, which I did. And now it's still on lure him. So we're gonna just defeat him and then see if it progresses or if it resets. Let's see, do you think it's possible to capture Electro, or is he just gonna disappear like all the other super agents?
I'm listening. You got it.
It will take more than army and gadgets to finish me.
This Crime Lord. Crime Lords should be in air quotes.
You sabotaged my audition. I worked my whole life for that chance, and you took it from me.
Don't blame it all on me. After all, you could have just been better at your job.
I will make you pay for this. I will make you rue the day you crossed Espectro.
And how exactly do you intend to do that? I have a mighty organization behind me. You have no one.
No one, you say? We will see about that.
Okay, now the storyline branches. We have Up in Arms. Espectro has recruited Full Metal Jackie, the arms dealer, to equip and supply his mysterious outfit. If you don't stop them, his troops will be deadlier than ever. Okay, interesting. And then the Feasting Shark.
Minions are in combat.
For the next phase of his plans, Espectro has recruited a mysterious operative to hunt down various leaders from within the forces of justice. Oh, he gets Sir Daniel to start killing the super agents? Amazing. Okay, so I hope that we get to do both of them. And now I know that he also has connections to Eli and Janet, and you get the alternate skins for them, which is why I recruited them. But it looks like they would also contain side stories of their own if you did not recruit them, so. I do love Sir Daniel, especially with the monocle. I think that wins out.
Ah, Sir Daniel. I am told when one wants a foe to be among the dead, none are better than you.
That all depends, old boy. I don't jump into the bush just to bag any old zebra, what? I need proper prey.
Ah, and at my side, you shall have as much prey as you can stomach. I shall call you.
Why the code name? Even though I do rather like being compared to a shark.
You are well known, and I do not want our enemies to know we are in league. Until it is too late.
Okay, we need to track an agent on the world stage. Let's see, this will give us track an agent, cost 4 guards. Tiburon, Espectro's assassin, has taken aim at a charismatic politician. Their death would bring scrutiny down on you as the likeliest suspect, so your minions need to play bodyguard. Hate being framed for crimes I don't commit. I only want to be framed for crimes I do commit. No, he's gonna kill the Dalai Lama. Ah, now Electro has appeared here in Africa. This could be a connection because Sir Daniel is normally located over here in Africa as well. Or maybe Electro is actually able to spawn anywhere in the world. Okay, hurry up, chemists. Are you the biologists? Hurry up, biologists. We have research to conduct on Electro. Your encounters with Espectro and Tiburon have given you some insights into what they're planning. Have your team analyze what you've managed to glean so far. Research complete. We must destroy the target on the world stage. Espectro's new assassin has been harboring Espectro in Saber territory at a manse deep in the jungle. Send a team in to set fire to the jungle and flush out your prey. Is that the only... Yes, that is the only scheme. You take the fight to them in the wilds of the jungle. Sir Daniel, you are no match for my team. Espectro has set Tiburon on a revered former prime minister. He lives under high security, but Tiburon is capable of taking the shot that can pierce through all of it unless your minions run interference. So we've flushed them out. Now we must bring an end to their reign of tyranny. So much for acting like a super agent, Espectro. Your revenge has carried you too far down a dark path. Alright, now both of them have showed up for a face-off. Oh yes, the Espectro Sir Daniel looks magnificent. I do like that he still just has the classic rifle, but he's got like this snazzy bandolier and the glowing monocle. The monocle always should have been a part of Sir Daniel's kit, and we all know it. Aw, quality poor. Sir Daniel, what's happened to you? Look like Espectro's stats are the same here, so shouldn't be too hard to deal with the two of them. So Daniel cannot be distracted. That's interesting. I guess, actually, I mean, it doesn't even say that I have to beat Sir Daniel. I just have to beat Espectro here. Okay, let's see. Oh, so Daniel's down already. And I know Janet cannot remote detonate Espectro. Unfortunate, Janet. I'm disappointed.
A trap has been triggered.
Not so tough.
Our henchman is in combat.
You've driven off this new rival for now. Keep an eye out, though, as they will surely return. We get 20 guards.
This was a good bit of sport, old sport, but I think it's time for me to chop, old chap.
What? But why? We are on the precipice of a victory so great it will upend the whole natural order.
The natural order's fine when you're a predator like me, or that fascinating person we crossed swords with.
You will regret making an enemy of me, Tiburon.
Said I've rather outgrown that name, my tenebrous ex-confederate. Cheerio!
Alright, what's next? Up in arms. So we do get to play both Sir Daniel and Full Metal Jackie here. Very fun, very fun.
You very wise woman to see the benefits that can come from working with someone of my power.
I mean, you talked about making heaps of cash. I'll let any man buy me some grog to tell me more about that.
Now, money is the least of what we stand to gain. You will use your talents to arm my soldiers. Me.
Oh, now you're talking, mate. What kind of number do you want me to set you up with?
The kind of weapon that can never be bought or taken.
Is he gonna try to come for havoc? My beautiful super weapon! I will never let him get to you, my darling. Jackie has acquired for Espectro a new machine gun turret that uses special experimental hollow point rounds. You can't get to the turret, so do the next best thing to make it useless. Steal all the bullets. Which only uses experimental ammo. Okay, so he just appears in the region along with the crime lord that he is working with, it looks like. Once again, they want me to do research when I am 77% done with another project, so I think I'll let this one cook and finish before I move ahead. By foiling Jackie and Espectro's operations, you're starting to get an idea of what they're up to. Have your scientists look into it further.
Research has begun.
I'm disappointed Jackie didn't get to pick a cool code name, and she has so many of them. Maybe she's got Espectro calling her Lock, Stock, and Carol. Alright, Jackie's goons are here. We need to capture at least one of them for questioning. I don't care what you do with the others. I can bring him in warm, or I can bring you in cold. Well, this has become quite the shootout out in the casino. Agents, goons, security, there's tech, everything. Yeah, where are my henchmen? Come on, bring in the big guns.
Responding.
Got better agents.
execute.
Time to sing.
Time to take care of things, Eli.
Your minions are in combat.
Alright, what's my balance of armaments? So this pistol rack is full. No one's taken one of those. Staffs are gone. Rifles all gone. Okay, so just 5 pistols basically.
An agent has been captured.
He has a lot of resolve. I'll let that drop
Research has been
to,
paused.
I mean, at least below 100. Don't want him breaking out of the
Research has
interrogation, then I just
resumed.
have to reset it. Alright, I'm hoping that we get to see something awesome, some like crazy weapon that Jackie's gotten for Electro. Down Underworld. Jackie and Espectro have set up shop in an abandoned warehouse in the docks of Sydney. Send your team to smash the place up. So, he just moved in with Jackie, I guess. I mean, that's a big step for their relationship. Oh, I love that schemes go so much faster now as of the
Scheme has
update.
succeeded.
Espectro and Jackie aim to steal the prototype of an unused Doomsday device, Raygun. The last thing you need is for them to have their own Doomsday device. So, have a team intervene and destroy it. I can be the only one with a Doomsday device. Who would get Raygun? It just feels like this is cut content from the main game, Rebellion. Was there a 5th genius that would use Raygun? Now defeat Espectro. We have lured him in with our scheme. Destroying Raygun right under his nose. Oh yes, she's still got the helmet. But now she's using the visor and the gas mask. Ooh, Jackie, you're looking fine.
Here's Jackie! Ready to make a deal?
Does she always have the little skull also on her back? Like, man, this is probably my favorite of the skins so far. Jackie can't be distracted, whereas Sir Daniel was too focused. Okay, I want to use Silver Tongue against either of these guys. Oh no, I can't do it. Oh no.
Can't do that.
Sad. Alright, the fight is on. And we'll probably get through Espectro even before Jackie enters the room.
Technically, I'm invincible.
There we go.
This is not the end. Merely an interruption.
No, Jackie, just leave. You don't need to make this your fight.
Second-rate programmers.
Your votes are full.
Let's be friends.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. New item. Raygun.
Well, mate, it's been fun. I got a dash now.
You cannot be serious. The riches you sought.
Something I can get a lot of other ways. This arrangement was like wrestling a dingo. Bad.
We can find another doomsday device. You must see reason. I will not let you leave.
Actually, you will. If you don't want this dead man's charge in my hand to go off. Cheers for that. Ta!
Yes, we have the Raygun. Our very own Doomsday prototype. The R stands for Ray and the G stands for gun. Scientists will talk for hours if you ask questions about all the others. Ghost of a chance. At last, Espectro is enacting his grand plan. With the world destabilized, he intends to reappear, presenting himself as the hero it deserves. Remind it who he really is. This is just Mysterio. They took Mysterio and they put him into Evil Genius 2.
Ah, my old nemesis. We meet again. At last.
And things haven't gone any better for you since then, it appears.
You have failed to see the true plan at work in the mind of the Master of Light and Shadow.
Then why don't you pretend I'm a child and tell me?
I have unified the Underworld's resources, and now I will use them to make myself the ultimate hero.
Alright, now we have to
Research
track
has
5
resumed.
agents across the world stage. Espectro is committing crimes and then planning to act as though he was the one foiling them afterwards. Well, not if I foil you first, Espectro. Oh, I got 2 things up here. The snitching hour and someone set us up. Are they the same? No, valets. Or techs. Interesting. Okay, well, we're waiting for some minions to train to finish off these schemes on the world stage, so why not capture a few agents to test out our ray gun?
An agent.
Let's see here. Escort prisoner, yes, to the ray gun, of course. I would love it if one of my henchmen would do it. Yes. The characters are less likely to break out if your agent is conducting the interrogation. Alright, how does this work? Okay. Yep. Seems dangerous. And now you have cancer.
Research has been paused.
Yep. Oof. Fast-acting cancer. Now we have to conduct research. I am detecting a pattern here in the setup of all these side stories. Your disruption of Espectro's schemes has given you data points your scientists can analyze. Use that data to triangulate the location of Espectro's lair. Fire havoc at Eastern Patriot States. Boy, I hope we have triangulated correctly. And I am loving the new update and how they allow you to gather doomsday fuel super fast and super cheap. That was something that was a major quality of life improvement that they brought with the patch. They all either cost very few minions, they all just take 10 seconds, or there are some that just cost you money, like this one, yeah. You can just pay 10,000 and over 10 seconds you just get it. And 10,000 is so cheap. They're just giving this stuff away. It also doesn't increase heat in the region. Man, they allowed you to get fuel so much easier. Alright, I don't particularly like firing havoc because of all the fires that break out, but to destroy Espectro, I will make an exception. No hard feeling, Agent X. Just business.
Is raging in your lair.
Oh no, it locked down.
A small fire has started in your lair.
It locked down right before I got to the mission. Well, be back in 4.5 minutes. Probably as long as it's gonna take to take care of this and this.
A small fire has started in your lair.
Next patch, please allow vaults to not catch on fire. Gold is not flammable. Alright, the region has reset, and as you can see, fire is still going on. Spectro's hideout is no more. Send a team of minions to claim its site as your own and have a Espectro. And to find Espectro if possible. You know he's not dead yet.
A minion is deserting.
I mean, after taking a direct strike from Havoc, I would expect him to be dead.
Espectro! Oh, I can't help but notice that despite me dropping the sky on you, you're still alive.
You have defied me at every turn, thwarted my every ambition. I can never die until I repay that in kind.
Bad luck for you. My ambitions run circles around yours, and you haven't succeeded yet.
That's the thing, Master. For what I aim to do to you, I need only succeed once.
This is the final showdown with Espectro. He doesn't have the potential recruitment option, so my guess is no, and we will have a continued saga. Eli, can you distract some of the agents? I would really rather not fight them along with Espectro at the same time. Over there. Slow him down. He has too much resolve. He's still going to be in here. Ah, and now Janet's going to force the issue. Okay, perfect. Another strike against Janet.
A minion is deserting.
Barely rumble my...
Second rate.
Yes.
Time for the Silver Lady to speak, Eli.
I'll hack you to bits.
barely rumpled my sack.
Nobody challenges you and gets away with it. They fled with their life, but we will catch up with them eventually.
Boss, we tried to corner him, but Espectro escaped again. He did some darkness thing.
I'll give him this. He's certainly persistent.
I'll scramble a team to go after him.
Oh, not you. I'm going to execute you in a moment for failing to capture him. But don't worry. Once I find him again, I'll have the ideal man to replace you.
Alright, we now have crossing over. Extract Espectro from his hiding place so you can make use of him. Find him and recruit him. So, this is one where it is completely slated to recruitment. It doesn't look like we have the option to just get rid of him. We'll get the henchman, and we will also get a new item, the Induction chair. I think this is what will allow us to have the Espectro skin on Eli and Janet, our two existing henchmen.
Oh. You are the last person I expected to see on my doorstep.
There was a time when killing you held appeal, but I have to admit, you've impressed me.
What? Oh, do you mean it?
Your tech, in particular, could be a valuable addition to my plans.
Then we will have to go out into the world, get it back.
Another beautiful addition of the rebalance patch is that Ivan's plans or his schemes after firing the Havoc at a region will give you a ton of guards. You can just pick up armies super fast if you want to. Only 10 seconds too. Let's do it. Espectro's icons on his schemes are just so clear. Though the heat has died down, Espectro is still a wanted man. Have your minions collect him from his hiding place and bring him back to you, dodging the forces of justice all the way. This is a 20 minion scheme. 20 minions? I don't think there's too many that cost more than that. A rival becomes an asset in your plans. A good result for all, mostly you.
Task complete.
And that's it. That final recruitment side story was incredibly short.
That is the last of my technology. I put it all at your disposal. I take it now is when you betrayed me.
The thought had crossed my mind. But no, Espectro, I'm keeping my word. I've seen what you're like as an enemy. I like you being my enemy's enemy.
Okay, I did not totally follow that, but I promise I will not let you down.
I know. You're on my team now. There will be consequences if you do.
Alright, here has to be what I was most looking forward to out of Espectro. This unique loot item, the Induction chair. This is what lets you use the different henchman appearances for the 4 henchmen that are connected to his side stories. Espectro built this machine in a few minutes and then spent years perfecting it. Order a henchman into the device to upgrade their most important asset, their outfit. So, I have to be honest, I'm a little disappointed in that it is only going to change their skin. It's not going to actually, it's not going to improve their stats, give them a different ability or anything like that. It's just going to make them look the way they look in the Espectro side story. Basically, Rebellion didn't want to waste any assets that people weren't going to get to notice in the side stories, so they gave you a way to be able to apply it to any henchman that you have, or any of the 4 henchmen that are connected to his story, which are Eli, Janet, Full Metal Jackie, and Sir Daniel. So if you've already recruited one of them, you don't get the side story portion with Espectro, but you do get to then give them the skin in your lair with this effect. Well, come on, Eli, put some oomph into it. Don't you want to get your new duds? Here we go. Let the transformation begin. Oh, yes. Oh, it's so good. I love love it. Those sunglasses. Oh my gosh. And the white suit rather than the tan. Honestly, I am a fan. I am a fan. Okay, Janet, I thought that you were irredeemably awful when I ranked you with all the other henchmen. Let's see if this one piece can maybe pull you out of the absolute bottom tier of all the henchmen. I am mildly aggravated that the henchmen only walk to do this command, whereas they run to do all your other commands. It's like even they know that this upgrade is not going to be as good as it's all cracked up to be. Hey!
Communications encrypted.
$5 DLC. Ta-da! I still don't like Janet. So there you go. And if you were to recruit Sir Daniel or Full Metal Jackie to the team, you would be able to give them the Espectro skins there as well. I was pretty high on how good Sir Daniel and Full Metal Jackie were both looking, so I may have to go and recruit them on this save just for that, but we'll see if I actually get to that. Well, Mysterio Espectro has now joined the team, and I'm going to separate my thoughts from ranking him as a henchman, similar to how I have ranked all of the previous henchmen, from my thoughts of the whole Cabal pack, which I will rank as kind of give my thoughts on the DLC in general. So once again, check the timestamps if you want to see a specific part of my discussion.
Complete.
Hey, let's see how the DLC is doing on Steam. Oof. It's not looking good, guys. But coming back to Espectro, just ranking him as a henchman, he is great. He's got this big, beefy stat line. His animations are really cool as a character model, and he is limited to a melee attack. I've usually knocked the henchman for being limited in that regard, but his abilities still make him a powerhouse when it comes to combat. His first ability here, Piston Punch. It is a stackable trait, so he charges his fists up, preparing to do massive damage with his next attack. You get this awesome animation. The channel is quite long, so if you want to be setting this up prior to a fight, you're going to have to be careful to make sure that you're able to get it all the way through the channel before he needs to fight. And then it's going to, the buff here that we see marked here, fully charged damage buff, it's going to dissipate about the time the cooldown reaches half. So it doesn't just stay on him entirely, unfortunately. Because it was saying it was a stackable trait, I almost hoped that you could stack it up multiple times and you would just keep reaching different levels of charge to the point where he would one-shot super agents, but he doesn't do that. It still gives a nice damage buff, so let's get him into combat right here.
I have reports of an intruder in the...
Defect in the system.
Here we go. Show us what you've got, Espectro. Oh, and he hits hard. These agents are tougher as of the new balance patch, so if it doesn't look too impressive, it really is compared to what I've seen out of the rest of my henchmen and the rest of my minions. His second ability here, Clone, Summon Ally, is where he really gets wild. He spends 50 of his own health, completes the channel, and then creates a clone of himself, which starts out with 115 health here, and then the other stats are decent, but they don't really matter. The awesome thing about the clone is that it spawns with being fully charged. Now the clone cooldown is not refreshing here. If we press the ability, then we jump to be able to control the clone, and we can give him orders just like we would Espectro, and he behaves just exactly similar to the character that he's cloned, except he is gradually losing health here. Let's put the clone through his paces just to show that he's doing the same abilities. So he comes out with the fully charged buff, and then he spends it, but then he can cast it on himself at least once with the smarts that he's given. So he makes a very capable fighter himself. That's kind of wrapping up the discussion around Espectro. In terms of his gameplay, he's got this awesome character model. He's like this huge Bane kind of body character, but he's clearly, in terms of personality, name, whatever, is modeled after Mysterio from the Marvel Universe. And when the clone's health drops all the way down, it will just die, spawn the body bag. And you get a notification from Iris here. It says a henchman has died, which might sound very disturbing to you, but Have no fear, it's just the clone. Status unknown, but then again, who cares? Because we can make more. So how does Espectro rank up against the other henchmen? Are you going to want to pick him up rather than anyone else? So clearly he is powerful. He is a solid henchman character, very good in combat, which is the best thing that your henchman can be good at. He is, because he's DLC, some people might expect him to be just completely game-breaking. He's not that powerful so as to trivialize the other henchmen, but he definitely holds his own at towards the top end of any of the henchman rankings. And his side stories are pretty interesting. He does have a little bit more going on than the other henchmen, because on top of that recruitment storyline, you also have the side stories where he will team up with the other crime lords that are still out there, and you have to do a separate side story to be able to kind of break up their team up, and you get that little bit of extra story, the extra dialogue between him and the henchmen or the crime lords. What I like most about that is honestly getting the extra dialogue like we got to see from Full Metal Jackie and Sir Daniel, because I love those characters so much. It makes me a little sad that I had already recruited Eli and Janet. I wasn't aware that they were going to have separate side stories with Espectro, and because I love Eli so much, I would have really liked to see some extra dialogue from him and his incredible voice acting. I've not really gone into the voice acting aspect of the henchman before, but I feel like Espectro, his volume was just turned down too much on the cutscenes. Like, it was really hard to hear over the music, partially because they're kind of modulating his voice to have it act as though it's coming out of his helmet. And then he's also got the accent, and he's just kind of soft-spoken in general, so it all combined, so it was really hard to understand him at times. I made sure that I had the character voices turned all the way up. What I should have done is cut the game audio in the background so that it was a little clearer, but hopefully that it's still audible enough so that you get a good idea of what his side stories are like from the recording that I got. So where does Espectro go on our full tier list of all the henchmen? I'm going to throw him up into the A tier. He just has a solid stat line. The only thing holding him back is that he's limited to a melee attack, but his abilities both synergize really well together to help him dish out damage in a big way, bringing in the clone and having the clone automatically spawn in with the damage buff, and then he being able to fully charge his fists to open up just a devastating barrage against whatever group of agents you set him against. He's a war machine, and he does his job extremely well. He doesn't quite reach the heights that, say, Jubei has, or the level of favoritism that I've shown to Eli, so that's why he's just held right off the S tier. I wanted to keep that as a pretty exclusive tier, but he is definitely, if you can recruit him, you will not regret it. Okay, so Espectro is a good henchman. He's fine. He's not a game-breakingly good DLC character to the point of trivializing the other henchmen, but he's definitely towards the top tier of effectiveness. But what about his whole DLC pack? They confusingly decided to call it the Cabal DLC rather than just naming it after Espectro, when really he is the only thing you are getting. I say he's the only thing when the other things are right here in front of you, so let's talk about what the other bonus features you are getting. You have two new, they're considered loot items. You have a new interrogation chair, and it's going to be a theme here with these items, is that this is just a reskin of your normal interrogation chair. It takes up more space, and it looks really cool. I showed it off when we were doing the side story, so check the timestamps if you want to see it running. We're just going over it really quickly here. And then here we have the induction chair, also shown off previously. This is basically Rebellion's way of being able to consistently use assets that they created. You get to see unique skins of existing henchmen in the side story, and so this is the way that you can keep those skins on your henchmen if you choose to recruit them. So I've got it onto Eli here. He's got the Cabal Pack skin, and he does look fine. The other characters that have interactions with Espectro are, so it's Eli, it is Janet Bombe, and then you have Sir Daniel and Full Metal Jackie. I have not recruited those two so far in this save game, but we got to see them in the side stories that were shown off earlier. And so you can have them just switch back and forth between the skins by having them go back into the machine here. So if you don't like them always having this outfit, or you decide that you just like the original outfit better, then you can have them go back by just running it like this, and you'll get the old character back just as they were before. And that is all it is. It is only changing their outfit, as it says here in the tooltip. They don't get any augmented skills, they don't get any augmented stats, they just look different. And I think that they look pretty cool, so we're gonna, Eli, change again. Change back. We like you the other way. But that's what you're getting here with these two loot items. Otherwise, additional contents in this DLC are really sparse. I think that what they're trying to sell is the extra side story interactions where he does the team ups with these different henchmen / crime lords on the world stage. You can only interact with them if they are still crime lords. So if you've recruited them already, then you won't be able to have their side stories. So that's kind of all of the new contents that we're getting from the DLC. And I feel like it is asking kind of a steep price of putting it at $5 just for the single henchman and the set of side stories. Now, if you've already picked it up from the season pass, just automatically, so you got the season pass on a discount on pre-order, maybe, then is it worth it to come back so that you get to play with Espectro? Well, we're combining getting Espectro, this DLC, right on top of the major rebalance patch that was just launched earlier this week as well. So if you want to hop into a new game and get to see all of the changes that they've made, it's definitely a chance to do so. But here is the huge catch, I think, for a lot of people, is that you have to hop into a new game to be able to play with Espectro. He is only available in new campaigns. In that very beginning, I don't know if you guys even remember this, but you actually have to choose what DLC / mods you want to run in a save game right when you start the game. And so because your old saves did not have the Cabal Pack checked, you don't get to play with him on your existing saves. You can't play with him with any of your existing saves. So I had to load up my 5th campaign here and be able to take it. I think I took it farther than I had to be able to get him. I got my campaign progression all the way up to 50%, so I played halfway through the entire game just to be able to recruit one new henchman. And I think that for a lot of people, that is not going to be worth it, that they're going to just wait until a series of the DLCs have come out from, because they have a roadmap that is telling us what to expect. We're getting a lot of new things. We have a new evil genius. Well, they keep saying it. They just say it's a new campaign, but I'm 90% sure that we're getting a new evil genius there. We're going to get another henchman. We're going to get a couple new minion types, and we're going to get a couple new item packs. And I think that all of those together is really going to be when people come back to play the new campaign. Probably they'll start with a new genius and get to try and hit all of the new types of content that have been added to the game. And if you're looking at it that way, then I think that the season pass is bringing enough content to warrant its price. It's really frustrating that it's only going to be accessible via the new game. I don't know if they are going to respond to be able to patch it so that you can recruit him on existing saves, or if that is kind of outside of the way that they fundamentally designed the game. I really hope that they will set it up that way. They've been very responsive up to this point in trying to fix things, and for some of the bug fixes, they were applying them to existing saves. They said wherever possible in the big patch 1.3 notes that as much as they could, the changes were applied to existing saves. So I don't know if that bodes well for saying that future DLC will hopefully be accessible on existing saves, or if it bodes poorly in that if they could have done it, they already would have. I really hope that they do bring it in, because I think it is just super discouraging to have to run a save all the way up to this point, rehash the old campaign just to get a tiny piece of new content. So if I had to do the final should you buy, wait, what have you ranking of the DLC, if you don't have it as part of the season pass, I would say wait on this unless this character really speaks to you. I think that some of the other, wait until you get to see the other offerings of the DLC, and then come back and play it when you potentially pick up a set of things that you're interested in. If you've already gotten him as part of the season pass, should you hop into a new campaign right now because the game is amazing? Well, I would say wait again. The big rebalance patch does change a lot of things. I'm going to have a separate video with full thoughts on that. The game, in my opinion, has gotten harder and more strategic. They're moving it in the right direction. But for someone who, you have to come in with the expectation that the game is changed, and there's going to be a lot of relearning based on the new balance patch. I was trying to rush to be able to get this character, as one of the big promises of the balance patch was that the game pace is accelerated, but enough systems had changed that I was not able to run the game on autopilot like it was before, and so I was just banging my head against the wall, basically trying to get a handle on the new systems and be able to progress quickly like they were promising me I could. But some of the old habits that I had from all of my other saves, I have over 200 hours in this game, guys. My old habits were holding me back. So if you want to see, if you're coming back now, it would not be because of just this one side story of Spectro. It would be because you want to see what the rebalance was, and if that tunes the game into a way that it keeps your interest better. There's my full thoughts on Espectro and the breakdown of everything that is in the new Cabal DLC, the first pack DLC that we have gotten for Evil Genius 2. I hope that I didn't ramble too much and that the format of showing the side stories worked out, and that you guys were able, with the timestamps, to find exactly what you were interested in seeing. Leave a comment on if you have come back for the DLC, if it looks exciting to you, or if you're gonna just wait until the game's full slate of new content releases before you come back. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and getting to see the side story and a Spectro breakdown, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. There's going to be plenty more Evil Genius 2 coming. Like I said, thoughts on the new rebalance patch, along with some other videos that I've had knocking around in my head that I haven't had a chance to make yet. So much to do in this game. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.